Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man back with a controversial view of Star Wars Episode VIII, The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi was released in 2017 and is by far the most divisive Star Wars film. This here is my Target limited edition exclusive Blu-ray DVD combo pack, and here's the back of it. It was written and directed by Rian Johnson, and is easily the most controversial of all the Star Wars movies as well. That's mainly due to its divisiveness. The biggest controversy about The Last Jedi, though, is almost every decision Rian Johnson made with it. It just feels so out of place. This was meant to be a bridge film between The Force Awakens and The Rise of Skywalker. Instead, it comes across as a convoluted mess of a movie. Listen, I don't hate it. I don't hate any of the Star Wars films. But The Last Jedi is definitely my least favorite of all. There are certainly things I like about it, but this isn't a positive spin video. It's a controversial view. I will admit, though, it was very underwhelming when I saw this at the cinema. This was the only Star Wars movie with which I left the theater feeling disappointed. The audience around me seemed restless and even bored at times. And everyone was quiet, walking out at the end. Every other Star Wars film I've seen in theaters included people in the crowd cheering and even applauding. Not The Last Jedi, though. People pretty much checked out at some point. It was a packed house, too. Because of how divisive it is, The Last Jedi is controversial. There are those who hate this follow-up to The Force Awakens. Then there are those who are sort of indifferent to it. And then there's a whole other group of people who claim this is the best Star Wars film ever made. It's hard to imagine those people loving the Star Wars movies so much that came before this if they prefer this to all of them. The reason I say that is because this makes a lot of changes to things that were already established. Between killing off characters prematurely and unnecessarily, and abandoning established plot lines, Rian Johnson blew up this trilogy. So much so, in fact, that the original director of The Rise of Skywalker dropped out of the project. And the entire script had to be rewritten by J.J. Abrams. Abrams also signed on to be the director after directing The Force Awakens. He even had to retcon some of the inconsistencies created by Rian Johnson in The Last Jedi. I'm all for making something your own. Rian Johnson had a huge opportunity here to write and direct a Star Wars film. But the final product comes across as self-serving. It's as if he went rogue with the project. The fact that this is the longest Star Wars film makes it feel even more self-indulgent. This trilogy had already been mapped out and written, and then Rian changed everything. Even Mark Hamill wasn't happy with the choices made in this one. From what I've read, he wasn't the only cast member dissatisfied either. Of course, despite all of this, it's still Star Wars Episode VIII, so it needs to be seen. I don't hate it, but I definitely don't love it either. It feels like it's not canon to the rest of the franchise, and it definitely doesn't serve as a bridge film. Despite a few exceptions, you could almost watch The Force Awakens and then The Rise of Skywalker, and The Last Jedi can be ignored. Obviously, I'm not suggesting that. I wouldn't skip it myself. It's just sloppy and frustrating to watch. Regardless, you should include it where it's meant to be seen in the Star Wars universe. Or you don't have to. This is just my controversial view. Be sure to check out Jason's video as well to hear his thoughts. How do you feel about Star Wars Episode VIII, The Last Jedi? Comment below and let me know. Which controversial movie will we view next? Check back soon to find out. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up and be kind. Subscribe.